Rimuru, the Eighth Deadly Sin, Wolf Sin of Deception by WGS 564. Prelude. Soon after reuniting at the Boar Hat Tavern with their newest sin found, they made preparations for a feast. Elizabeth. Nice to meet you, Sir Gowther. My name is Elizabeth, I'm the third princess of Leones. Would you please consider joining all of us in our quest to save the kingdom from the Holy Knights? Gowther. Number. Elizabeth and the other sins present, except their captain and vice-captain, who weren't present at the moment, repeated his words in question. Gowther. This isn't the first time we've met. Elizabeth. Really? Gowther. We crossed paths once before in Orden. And before that, you became acquainted with us when you were only a small child. Elizabeth. Huh. Ban. Well, what do you know? So she was the little runt, always hanging around the king. Diane. How weird, I totally don't remember that. King flew beside Gowther. King. Show respect when you speak to Her Highness. Gowther. I beg your pardon, Princess. Elizabeth. Oh, sure. So, think you could tell me if I met Sir Meliodas and Sir Rimuru before, too, by any chance? Meliodas. Of course, you have. Rimuru. You were still likely too young to remember it. Rimuru and Meliodas walked back together after a chat they had. Elizabeth. Sir Meliodas, Sir Rimuru. Meliodas. What'll it be, Gowther? Wanna join up with the rest of us? Rimuru. You don't seem to be doing anything else, so it would mean a lot. Gowther. I think I should. It was the king who appointed me to the 8 deadly sins. So the least I can do in return is submit to his daughter's wishes. Rimuru. How chivalrous. Meliodas. Great. And with you, our 8 deadly sin count is up to 6. Let's get drunk to celebrate. Ban and Hawk. Yeah. King. Well, we would have done that anyway, but I'm in. Rimuru. Just don't overdo it, alright. Rimuru thought back to the conversation he and Meliodas had before arriving, right after Cain left. Rimuru. So you accepted the sword she gave you, does that mean you're prepared to use it? Meliodas. Of course, can't let you have all the fun. Rimuru. Those eyes and expression of yours can trick everyone you've ever met except me, even in this state. Meliodas. Look, you don't have to worry, my mind was made up long ago. Rimuru. You just had to bring that up, honestly, for being so kind, she could also be so cruel to ask so much of both of us. Back in the present, everyone was drinking and feasting. Ban. I hope you brought your A-game, Captain. Meliodas. Less talking, more drinking. Rimuru sighed in annoyance as he sat beside Gowther. Rimuru. They're both so dumb. Elizabeth brought Rimuru a plate as well as Gowther. Elizabeth. You really don't like alcohol, do you, Sir Rimuru? Rimuru. Thank you, Elizabeth. I don't like how everyone acts when they get some, and I have to clean up the mess. Elizabeth. You seem to put too much on yourself. You should relax every once in a while. Rimuru. Maybe you're right. Elizabeth put a plate beside Gowther as well. Elizabeth. Eat, I'm sure we have something here you like. Gowther. I have no preferences when it comes to food. Rimuru. I don't think Gowther has any preferences when it comes to anything. That's just how he's always been. Gowther. Something feels odd. Gowther's attention was directed to Hawk, who was eating a bowl of scraps. Hawk. Hey, Gowther. I'm Sir Hawk, captain of the Order of Scraps Disposal. If you got any questions, just ask. I'm always happy to help. Gowther. How in the world does a pig know how to speak? Hawk. No idea. Gowther. So why are you eating all those scraps? Hawk. 'Cause they're yummy. Gowther. That's all. Hawk. You're done already. Now, you've gotta have more questions than that. Rimuru. What else is there to you? Aside from being emergency food and funds. Hawk. Will you stop calling me that already? Meliodas in Gowther's voice. I'm so moved. I was starting to think I'd never be reunited with the others again. Meliodas sat beside Gowther. Meliodas. That's what you were just thinking about, wasn't it? Gowther. I was noticing none of us are from the same species. Meliodas. That's all. Gowther. That's all. Meliodas. Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. Rimuru. I mean, if you mean the current sins reunited, then you'd be correct, but there are only 3 humans in our ranks, regardless, and only one is present. Rimuru said while staring at Ban with a disapproving expression, who was still drinking. Rimuru. Speaking of which, those remaining 2 are the only ones we still need to reunite with, Merlin and Escanor. Meliodas. You said you knew where Merlin was, right? Rimuru. She didn't seem like she had any plans on moving since I last saw her this year in Camelot. Yowther. It's impressive you were able to find her. I did hear several rumors, but none of them proved to be reliable. And whenever I got close to the truth, she would disappear again without a trace. Meliodas. Rimuru is just the one person Merlin would never want to hide from, is all. Rimuru. You're making things sound like they aren't. In any case, I'd say we should head to Camelot to find her, knowing her she'll be expecting us, and if she isn't there, she'd have a way for me to find her. Ban grabbed Gowther by the shoulder. Ban. Hey, you guys. You won't believe this. Our buddy Gowther here was actually able to pick out King by his BO. Gowther. Along with his bone structure and tone. Diane. Really? Elizabeth. You recognized him by his smell. Ban. I'm curious, let's all have a smell. Ban grabbed King for them all to sniff. Ban. Kinda sickly sweet, isn't it? Hawk. Like flowers. King. Hey. They kept smelling. Diane. It smells so familiar. Rimuru. Like all the good parts of nature, sat down for a picnic. Elizabeth. It's what the fairy king should smell like. King. Diane's face is so close, guys, knock it off. If you keep crowding me, I might. King transformed into his human form. Everyone kept sniffing. Ban. Now he smells kind of sour. Hawk. Like sweaty socks. King. It's not that bad, guys. You must be imagining things. Diane. This one smells familiar, too. Rimuru. Like the inside of a knight's armor that's been at war for days on end. Ban. Gross, man. Elizabeth. Don't let him get to you, Sir King. King. What's the big idea, ganging up on me? Gowther. I didn't do anything to you. King. Of course you did. You started this mess, so you need to clean it up. Gowther. Very well. Gowther used invasion on Diane and Ban. Gowther. Diane, you claim to be 29 feet tall, when in fact you know you're actually closer to 30. Diane. Huh. Gowther. The fudging of your weight is even more severe. Diane repeatedly punched Gowther into the ground. Diane. What is wrong with you, Gowther? Why do you have to be so mean? A lady's allowed to keep some secrets, you jerk. Meliodas. What's the point in lying about a foot when you're as tall as she is? Rimuru. The weight thing I get, but I don't see what's so embarrassing about being tall. More often than not, that's an attractive trait for most guys. Elizabeth. You're both boys. You wouldn't understand. Gowther. As for you, Ban, during the battle with the vampires in Edinburgh 12 years ago, you got rather unreasonably drunk. Ban. Yeah, that's right. I got pretty hammered and decided not to join the mission. Rimuru and his you-know-who gave me a hell of an earful and thrashing for that one, even though I said I was sorry. Rimuru. You're such an irresponsible jerk. Gowther. But you didn't apologize for using physical hunt to steal King and Diane's power, or for laughing at them as you watched them both struggle. Ban spat out his drink. Diane. Oh. So that explains why I was so weak all of a sudden. King. That was you. Ban. Come on, it was a long time ago. Forgive. Diane grabbed him and squeezed him like a grape in her hand. Diane. Jerk. Ban pushed free of her grasp while still in her hand. Ban. Whoa. It wasn't my finest moment, but I don't deserve this. Rimuru. You deserve worse. Gowther. Ban's right. Gowther fired invasion at Rimuru, but in the blink of an eye, it was caught midair. The atmosphere thickened, a crushing pressure settling over, like a storm about to break. Rimuru. Gowther. Without breaking eye contact, Rimuru slowly clenched his fist. The needle cracked, then shattered, fragments slipping between his fingers. Rimuru. I'll have to ask you not to attempt to crawl inside my mind again. Ban. Uho, now you made the vice captain mad. King. Serves him right for spilling our secrets. Diane. Still, it's unfair that he's the only one he didn't use it on. Gowther. True, so it's best to go with what I infer. The vice captain seems to have a soft spot for Princess Elizabeth. Rimuru. Shut up. It's just because she's not like us, she's a princess. Elizabeth. I appreciate your concern, Sir Rimuru. Gowther. Still, you never seem to treat anyone with such concern and consideration. Along with that, your heartbeat accelerates, and the tension, anxiety, and stress in your body increase. Could this be feelings of what they call love? The other sins exclaimed in shock as Elizabeth had a slight blush. Diane. Hey, is that true? King. I know she's charming, but you must control yourself. Ban. We're lucky you know who isn't here, or she'd throw such a fit. Meliodas. What a perv. 5 loud bangs could be heard. Meliodas, Diane, Ban, King, and Gauther all had comically massive swells on their heads. Rimuru. I don't wanna hear that from you of all people. Rimuru said with a red face. Elizabeth. Sir Rimuru. I'm flattered but. Rimuru. It's not what you think. Look, you remind me of my younger sister, that's all. King. Wait, you have a younger sister. King said while rubbing his head. Rimuru. She was a lot like Elizabeth, kind, caring, always wanting to help whoever she could. Still, she could be considered naive, so I often worried about her, but she proved time and time again that she could handle herself. Rimuru had a moment of nostalgia before his face looked more downcast. Rimuru. But she died a long time ago, and I wasn't there to protect her. She would often complain that I was overprotective. I wonder if she thought of me as smothering her. Elizabeth. She sounds like a wonderful person. Elizabeth stepped closer, her eyes shimmering with quiet sorrow as she looked at Rimuru. Elizabeth. I don't think she saw you that way. Wanting to protect someone you love, that isn't smothering. That's love. And I'm sure she knew that. She put a hand on his shoulder. Elizabeth. You were there for her in the ways that mattered. Even if you couldn't be there in the end, that doesn't mean you failed her. Rimuru. I guess you're right. Rimuru got up from his seat and walked back to the tavern. Meliodas. Rimuru, you. Rimuru. I'm fine. Rimuru said in haste. Rimuru. I just ate too much, so I'm gonna sleep it off. Don't get too crazy, alright guys. Rimuru went inside. Ban. What was that about? King. I've never seen him act like that. Elizabeth. I hope I didn't upset him. Meliodas. Don't worry. Whenever Rimuru gets too embarrassed or emotional, he tends to retreat from the scene. I guess your words really reached him. Elizabeth looked at where Rimuru left in contemplation. The next day, Hawk's mom was on the move. Ban. So, does anyone have any clue where we're supposed to go next? King. Any chance you might have a lead on where the next sin might be? Rimuru. Guess you guys weren't listening well last night. Rimuru said as he walked down the stairs. Rimuru. Merlin the boar sin of gluttony is in Camelot, so we should head there. Meliodas. Good idea, and it'll mean we'll be safer and they'll be less likely to get the coffin of eternal darkness taken from us. The dragon hilt is a fragment of a ritual relic. Elizabeth. The sword you had. The one Rimuru took. Meliodas. Yeah. Meliodas said while looking at Rimuru accusingly once again. Rimuru. Took is such a bad word, I prefer to say confiscated. Elizabeth. Why do the Holy Knights want it? What could they be planning to do with something like that? Meliodas. More than likely, the resurrection of the demon clan. Ban. Tisk, those miserable bastards again. King. Now that you mention it, wasn't it Hendrickson who turned Dale into that monster? It's not every day you can see somebody do that. Gauther. True, excellent point. Elizabeth. Hendrickson. I don't understand why he and Dreyfus would do such a thing. It doesn't make sense. Why would he resurrect the demon clan? What could he hope to accomplish? Hawk. Maybe he just wants to be friends with him. Elizabeth. No way. Rimuru. Of course, a dumb animal would think that. Hawk. Well then what do you think he wants? Rimuru. It doesn't matter, anything involving the demon clan's revival can't be good. We need to stop him, but since he doesn't have the sword, we have the upper hand, and the cards are in our favor, so if we spend this time reuniting with our final 2 members and finding the remaining sacred treasures, we'll have nothing to worry about. Hawk. Hang on. I get why those guys are going after the sword. But I don't understand what they want with Elizabeth and Rimuru. Everyone except Meliodas looked at Rimuru questioningly. Rimuru. Don't look at me. I don't know. Vivian. It's simple. Everyone was on guard at the sight of someone suddenly in the tavern. Vivian. They're the keys to breaking the seal. Meliodas. Oh crap. Get away from her. Elizabeth. A light appeared beneath Elizabeth and faded away with them. Meliodas just missed them. Meliodas. Damn I. Meliodas's anger could be felt by all the sins. Rimuru. Keep calm, Captain. King. You used your body double and threw it at them last minute. Rimuru. I'm still in touch with it, so I know where they are. Meliodas grabbed Liz's sword and grabbed Rimuru by the wrist while dragging him along. Rimuru. Hey, wait a minute. Meliodas didn't listen as he ran out of the tavern, dragging Rimuru with him. Ban. What the hell? Yowther. That was probably a mage who can appear and disappear in the blink of an eye. Using advanced teleportation. Meliodas, still dragging Rimuru with him outside, looked around. Rimuru. Stop dragging me around like a second weapon. Meliodas. Follow me, I'm heading to the capital to save Elizabeth. King. But how? It's more than 40 miles away. Rimuru casually yanked his hand free. Rimuru. Hold on, that's reckless. They're clearly trying to bait us, they don't have the sword, and they want us to bring it to them. Meliodas. Diane. Diane. Gotcha. Ban. Not so fast. I'm going too. Ban said as he picked up and held Meliodas. King. Ban, would you stop fooling around? Ban. You've got your reasons for going, I've got mine. Yowther held on to Ban. Yowther. I'm coming too. King. Oh, come on, Yowther, what are you doing? Diane picked them up. Yowther. Ban and the captain always fight, so seeing them in action could be educational. Rimuru. Well, count me out. This is a reckless move, and I want no part of. Meliodas. Diane. Diane. Sorry, Rimuru. Diane grabbed Rimuru as well. Rimuru. Diane put me down. Diane. Captain's orders overrule yours in this scenario, sorry. Rimuru. If you wanna go so badly, then go yourself. Why only be so insistent on dragging me? Diane. Here goes, I might be a little off, so be careful. Meliodas. Just get us close, we'll take it from there. Diane. Right. Rimuru. Hey, stop ignoring me. Diane. No matter what happens, just bring Elizabeth back safe. Meliodas. On it. Rimuru. Diane, don't you dare. Diane got a running start before throwing Meliodas, Rimuru, Ban, and Gowther to Leones. Ban. We're dead. Meliodas. You say something. Gowther. You'll have to speak up a bit. Rimuru. Bells damn I. They continued to zoom by until finally landing near Leones, and they hit the ground running. Meliodas. The only reason we're here is to save Elizabeth. So, try to keep the fighting to a minimum. Yowther. Understood. Ban. Yeah, but we could still kick a little ass while we're here, right Captain? Meliodas. Go straight for the kill. Rimuru. I hate when he gets like this, it makes it so hard to disagree with him. A series of magical attacks were fired at them, but Meliodas made short work of them all. Meliodas. Full counter. Every magical attack was returned to sender. They kept going and couldn't be stopped. Meliodas. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Hang on. Knight. Don't let Meliodas use full counter, aim for a direct hit. Rimuru was surrounded and pilled on by several knights, they repeatedly attacked him where he was with separate weapons. Rimuru. Don't let up. Make sure we got him. Rimuru said as he also attacked where he was standing. The knights were shocked to realize Rimuru was beside them, but they had no time to react as Rimuru backhanded all of them while chuckling to himself. Meliodas. Rimuru, stop wasting time. We need to keep moving. Rimuru. I get it already. Rimuru said as he made his way to the front and placed his hand up. Rimuru. Beelzebub. The fog emerged from Rimuru's hands and quickly overwhelmed the army and the wall in their way. Knight. It's Rimuru's void technique, get back or you'll be swallowed by it. The void took over the entire area, the knights were in PA Inc., scattering away from it before it suddenly disappeared and the sins they were fighting along with it. Rimuru. The void doesn't have to swallow them, so it makes a good enough bluff. Rimuru said as he, Meliodas, Ban, and Gowther snuck around. Meliodas. Rimuru, search the area for where Elizabeth is. Rimuru. I'm getting kinda sick of you ordering me around, but fine, she's that way. Rimuru didn't get to finish before Meliodas ran off. Rimuru sighed. Rimuru. Please, Rimuru. Thank you, Rimuru. He said before going after him, the other sins followed until they saw a loud explosion. Ban. What was that? Yowther. Judging by the sound and vibration, it's half a mile away, between the south and palace gates. Ban. Come to think of it, weren't we just sensing someone with crazy magical powers? Rimuru. If that's who I think it is, we don't have much to worry about. Meliodas. Enough talk. Let's go. Meliodas said as he made his way to the source of that explosion. Ban. Huh. You mean we're not heading where Rimuru pointed? Meliodas. If we're gonna rescue Elizabeth, the fastest way is to take them all out. Rimuru. Gowther. It'd probably be best to follow him. Rimuru. I know. Rimuru said with aggravation as he, Ban, and Gowther went after him. They kept going for a while until they saw a giant, pointed object appear out of the ground in the distance. They all knew that it wasn't natural. Gowther. Captain, look. Meliodas. Yeah, that's ground Gladius. Diane must be here then. Ban. What's she doing in the capital? That seems kinda weird. Rimuru. Probably the same reason as us, but if you mean how, then I have no idea. Ban. So what's gonna be our next move, Captain? Gowther. I'll help her. You make saving the princess your top priority, Captain. Rimuru. I'll go with Meliodas. Thanks, Gowther. Now, come on, let's keep going. Meliodas pulled Rimuru along by the wrist again. Rimuru. Stop doing that. He said as he was dragged along before yanking his hand away. Rimuru. Damn it, you could at least say why you're so insistent on dragging me along with you. Meliodas didn't respond as they kept going, which annoyed Rimuru. He was about to speak his mind until he heard a public voice. Dreyfus. I am Holy Knight Grandmaster Dreyfus. People of Lyons, hear me. We've been infiltrated by traitors known as the 8 Deadly Sins. Rimuru swiped his fingers in the air, and suddenly, the announcement to the kingdom was cut off. Rimuru. That's enough of that broadcast. Can't have panicked citizens getting in our way. Now, as I was saying. Meliodas. That right there, that's why I wanted you to come with us so bad. Rimuru. Huh. Meliodas. I know if I have you with us, I can save Elizabeth even faster than without you. I'm sorry if this is selfish, but please. Rimuru. Then just say that. Fine, it's not like they can take the sword from me if they wanted to. Besides, it's not like I don't want to save her either. Ban. Then let's get ready to raise some real hell.